As a content creator and a presenter, I'm not an antagonist. I don't ever seek to be an antagonist, but in this video, I want to share with you 3 things that I believe to be are some of the dumbest things people believe in the whole world of self-defense. Stick around. Self-defense training, the thought that goes into self-defense training, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. Some people are not wired to think about it. Some people are not wired to believe it's of great importance. Some people just don't go that direction in life. And truth be told, I have more respect for them than I do the people who say the things that I'm going to address in this video. Because if you're going to train in self-defense or train to be a defender, there are myths and wrong ideas that have to be left behind. The first dumb thing that people buy into in the world of self-defense is the idea that you just need to learn a few moves. If a person is not embodying the journey of getting stronger and more fit and studying deeply on how to fight and defend, a few good moves are not going to work. If somebody's not in the right kind of shape or mindset or getting an adequate amount of regular training, a few good moves is not going to help you against an aggressive attacker who's used to doing violence. For example, I did a video a while back about the subject of elderly and self-defense. And what I was providing for them in that video was a much deeper approach to avoiding being in situations and having the right mindsets in certain environments, more than I was focusing on a few good little McDojo moves. And people came in there like, blah, 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 you didn't tell us anything, when in fact, I told them a lot. What they were looking for was a few little Kia moves that would magically help them be able to fight somebody possibly 30, 40 years younger than them, and that's not reality. But I even went on to say that even if you're older, if you're taking care of yourself and you're training on a regular, you may have the strength and power and faculties to successfully defend yourself against a younger person. There's no blanket statement. Being younger doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to beat older, but I wanted people to get away from this idea that a few good moves is all you need. No, if self-defense is important to you, you don't need a few good moves. You need a change in your lifestyle that puts you on the path of becoming someone who could realistically and successfully defend themselves. The second dumb idea that we buy into is that the average thug is no problem. A 22-year-old athletic thug who wants to rob you is definitely a problem. They don't have to be a professional fighter to be dangerous. They can be very experienced in violence without any of that. And that's why I believe that we need to be training in many areas if, in fact, we want to be able to defend ourselves. This means studying and becoming acquainted with all areas of fighting. That's why I say I believe this takes some commitment. It's definitely going to take some physicality, and it's most definitely going to take time. The ability to deal with strikes coming your way, the ability to stop a takedown, the ability to submit somebody in a grappling type of situation, the ability to use the tools that you carry. All of these things are what we should be training in if in fact we're realistic about the ability to defend ourselves. Yes, there's people out here who just want to harass others, and they're not a problem physically. They're not as dangerous as their mouth says they are, but there are dangerous people out here who don't know a thing about fighting, who are acquainted with violence, who are savages. And if you think just a few good moves learned in a self-defense class is going to help you against them, you're going to get hurt. And I say that with a humble heart. I teach moves and I teach technique, but I also tell people that none of these things are going to help you if you're not getting stronger and you're not training on a regular. I'm just here to supplement your self-defense journey. The third thing that I'm about to say primarily goes out to my fellow Americans. And trust me, I don't want to say this because I'm thankful for all of you who are exercising your Second Amendment. But I don't like to hear people say, you just need to carry a gun. You just need a gun. Gun, gun, gun. That's all they think about. Because they have that gun, they're okay. A lot of people don't even really know how to use a firearm that well if they're honest about their training. Second of all, using these things in the real world is a lot easier said than done when there's a lot coming at you at one time. People will say things as well like, never bring a knife to a gunfight. Really? Well, first of all, I usually have both on me. A gun does not always beat a close quarter weapon. If you've ever been in a training situation where you're having to draw your weapon against somebody who's 10 feet from you holding a knife coming at you, you find out how difficult that really is. I believe in firearms, obviously. It's my primary self-defense tool, but that's what it is. It's one of many tools, and it's a really great tool, and it's probably one of the greatest, but it is not the be-all, end-all. And if you believe that it is, I'm deeply concerned about whether or not you really understand what it takes to defend yourself. I think a lot of people don't choose the path of learning how to defend themselves, and they don't study all that comes with it because intuitively they know what all really goes into it if they're going to have a realistic approach about it. I personally don't always find it easy. I don't always like to think about it. I don't always like putting myself through the training that I put myself through, not only when I'm training solo, but when I'm training with other people. But I find it necessary, and you find out more and more when you train in it some of the realities that a lot of people are dismissing. I'm signing off, my friends. We got to be humble, and we've got to be realistic about these things. There's no easy way out in the world of self-defense. We're either trained or untrained. We're either prepared or unprepared, and even that doesn't guarantee our success. Take care.